All right, now let's start talking about Iowa because we got to get to the jokes. Iowa was the Democrat Party in a nutshell. Complete disaster, followed by Democrats declaring victory. I mean, it was just great. No one is exactly sure what happened. They had this new, I mean, the whole caucus process is incredibly complex in the first place. And they had this new app, and the app was supposed to be great. And, you know, the Democrat Party, they've always got an app. They're going to take over healthcare. They're going to take over business. We don't need businessmen to do business. We've got the Democrat Party. We don't need doctors to do healthcare. We've got the Democrat Party. They're going to fix everything. So they have their new app, and no one can get on it. It's not that they can't find the actual information, because the thing about a caucus is it's people actually standing in a schoolhouse or, you know, in some gathering place, and they actually go and they gather in a place and say, we're for Bernie or we're for Pete or whoever they're for, and they gather in groups. It's the least technologically advanced form of gathering information there can possibly be. But then the Democrats had an app. There was an app for that, and they put this stuff in. Now, by the way, this doesn't mean there were no results, because the Republicans had an app-free system of voting, and Donald Trump won 97% of the vote in Iowa. This is a state he took by, I think it was like 10 points last time, but the Democrats had no result. They had one guy, this was my favorite guy, whose name was, what was his name? Sean something. He was a precinct captain in Iowa, and he called in. He had been on hold trying to report the votes. He was trying to tell the Democrat headquarters in Iowa. He was trying to tell them the results of his precincts. Sean Sebastian, thank you. He's trying to tell them the results of the votes in his precinct, and while he's on, they hung up on him.
Democratic Party. Can I help you?
This is a real coincidence, Wolf. I just got off hold just now, so I've got to get off the phone to report the results.
All right, go ahead and report your results. Can we listen in as you report them, Sean?
Yep.
All right, let's listen.
All right. Okay, hi. Hello? They hung up on me. They hung up on me. Okay, I've got to get back in line on hold. They just hung up.
It's so frustrating indeed.
So these are the guys, remember, this is your health care. These are the guys who want to run your health care. So just imagine that you're on hold, you're calling in because you've got the flu or your kid is sick or has got an earache or something like that. That's the guy who's going to be handling your health care if the Democrats get elected. Just so you know, the best part of this, if you're a subscriber and you had your Leftist Tears tumbler, man, you were using it last night, because the best part of this was the media. Because listen, the thing is, the media will turn on you in a second once their self-interest is at stake, and you're sitting there, you want to report, you want to have things to talk about, and there's no information coming on. So hour after hour after hour, you're getting 0% reporting, no votes are coming in, and they start to realize, this is wrong, this is a bad thing. So Van Jones goes on, and he knows just whose fault it is. This is cut 7.
This is starting to feel like, possibly like a real debacle, where if there's some technical problems that they're not disclosing, we could be, very late on this. I mean, I just think that the idea of the caucus has failed to meet the viability threshold, okay? The idea of the caucus itself has failed to meet the viability threshold, because we've all been saying the whole time, why Iowa in the first place? It's 90% white. When you have a party as diverse as this to be in a state that's not diverse is terrible. People need to be able to vote and go home. I don't like caucuses in the first place. But then if you can't even deliver on your one job, Nia Malika said it exactly right. You only have one job, Iowa.
There you go again.
That's right, people. It's the fault of white people. Why do we have to listen to all these white people in Iowa in the first place? I mean, it was just what was so wonderful about it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has problems. But what was so wonderful about it, this was the Democrat brand. Everything just came out about the Democrats. It was so perfect. The idea that somehow suddenly Iowa didn't matter. Jennifer Rubin, she had a headline. Back in May, she wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post, and the headline was, "Why Iowa is So Important This Time." And yesterday, her headline is, "What good are the Iowa caucuses anyway?" Because when things go wrong for the Democrats, this is another part of the Democrat brand. When things go wrong, Change the rules. You lost because of the Electoral College. Get rid of the Electoral College. You lost because of the Supreme Court. Pack the Supreme Court. You lost because the right's arguments are better than the left's arguments. Forget about freedom of speech. Just change the rules. It was the left's brand in a nutshell. And now, of course, part of the left's brand also conspiracies. It's a conspiracy. It's the Russians. It's always the Russians. I'm going to get back to that Adam Schiff cut that I was joking about in the opening because that was an actual thing. But they're basically, Bernie Sanders has a good reason to think, well, maybe they're trying to screw him. Maybe he did better.
I think of communism when I think of Bernie.
I do too. But, Bernie Sanders has a perfectly good reason. They did try to screw him last time. So he has a perfectly good reason to think, maybe the votes started coming in on this app and Bernie was doing a lot better than Joe Biden. And maybe they thought, this must be the app. The app is broken. It must be if I could just get this app to work, then Biden would be winning instead of Bernie. But
Bernie. He is one crazy dude.
But Biden wasn't happy either. The campaign of this is from the Wall Street Journal, the campaign of former Vice President Joe Biden said in a letter to the state party that acute failures are occurring statewide in the party's reporting system. I shouldn't be laughing at this, right? This is cruel of me to be laughing at the Democrats when they're making fools of themselves. They said, we believe that the campaigns deserve full explanations and relevant information regarding the methods of quality control you are employing and an opportunity to respond before any official results are released. And you know who was happy about this? President Trump pounced on the uncertainty, calling the Democratic caucuses an unmitigated disaster. In a Tuesday morning tweet, he said, nothing works just like when they ran the country. I hope you enjoyed that clip from The Andrew Klavan Show. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all our future content.